around town all night. Whispering in his ear. I didn't like regression. But now I'm on Schindler's List. And there's a G door, and I've been here before.
I had patents stuck in my head for I don't know how long.
Where did that come from? I did.
Along with many other things. Period. I guess Alec is a job creator.
I love those little robots.
I just wish it didn't ruin my life. Period. If only the lice had gotten me. Because those tiny robots that come out of your spine are fucking amazing.
It's sad when people influence genius the wrong way.
I'm surrounded by people that are taunting me and have been for, well, probably 8 years now. Period.
Open to suggestion? No, thank you. Not yet. Woo! Babe.
I don't share a lot about what I think.
Gabe. No,
I'm
Gabe.
Speak freely.
No party.
And unfortunately, when we're...
The party's not starting, Gabe. Go home. Gabe texted Liam when I first got there. Don't start the party without me. And then he ended up on a budding match in an attic, so. Unfortunately, the fireside chat chip, or the prison chip, or whatever chip they put in my head that made it so I actually was talking to someone. Graded. Well, being put into isolation mode because Malo wanted to look in my head. I've never spoken freely to come on before. So they tricked me. Once Barbara called Channing. Was probably the cruelest thing you could ever do. Yeah, maybe Mello wanted to look in my head, but I spoke freely for the first time in my life to people I don't even know. Which is even worse because they were collecting information so they could basically circle around and destroy me. I've never really been allowed to share. And now I've been forced to. Brain rape, basically. Not to mention being remotely threatened all the time. Once that headset really went the wrong way. I used to do negotiation for it. I've had to grow up somewhere where I've been insulted to my face almost constantly. And Project Safe basically taught me to do mind over matter every time I went home. But there was always this impending sense of doom. Which apparently was 100% correct. I was afraid to leave the property at my parents' house. Every single time I went home. And of course, after Vicky's wedding, which I couldn't even walk out of, well, things aren't going to go very well. It's hard when you're followed around by a bunch of people who literally just have fun ruining everything you touch. I did not know that they are called it. Oh, I didn't know that. Telangial. Why? They actually call themselves the Telangial Society, or what that means. But when I joked about how there was a group of people dedicated to ruining my life, I guess I was not very far off. Hold on, I had a stroke. I can't use this hand. Yeah, you know that. Someone gave me a stroke the other night. You keep doing that. If it's a Sylvester stroke, I'm gonna be really mad. You can barely even write.
It's either that or the Cuban Missile Crisis. Oh my god, that Cuban artwork here is so wonderful, but terrifying. So terrifying. I think that's almost my entire head. All I wanted to do was start a suit artist.
When I told my brother about bleeding to death on the floor at my parents' house, he made it about a sex cult. I think that's because he's probably there. And of course, I chose him to be the person that I talked to that about. But I love the tiny little paw print on the floor.
The tea party thing was appropriate, though.
I couldn't figure out how I was alive. Because I'm pretty sure most of my brain was on the ceiling, wall, and floor. But that's, I guess, what you call a fish head. When I got home, I thought I was possibly the luckiest person alive.
Ramen, every college staple food. I wonder. I'm having enough trouble with fraternities right now. I can't even do anything. When your ex-boyfriend can use community service to kill his ex-girlfriend, that's when you know you're using it wrong. Volunteerism. Hey, Liam, I want to leave. No, he wants to win. I always get to win, apparently. I don't know what I'm winning. And I almost threw myself out the car door at the rotary when that happened. And he's an excellent brainwasher. Industrial dryer, put me in the snow, medicated to oblivion, public humiliation whenever we went out. Like shoot in the shower with a hair dryer. I was lucky enough that Jose was part of their torture community, so he showed me the hair dryer thing.
Liam was out here waiting for me.
Yep, really.
If you've been forced to rebond with someone,
electricity,
that was the perfect time to do it.
It's the glass.
I couldn't figure out how to get away from him.
And
I knew that if I didn't, my body, which was working at the time, probably would not be soon. My whole body worked. I could go for a run. Before I could go running, but then obviously they take it away. I wanted to run a triathlon again.
No, my ankles cracked like in high school. Thank you, David.
As a result, my brain was pulled apart. Brain was pulled apart. Unfortunately, I had listened to what they were saying in Annie's cab. 6,000 people were planning on torturing me. When I finally got my life together. 6,000 people.
I'm backing.
88 molested women. I couldn't figure out how I knew 88 molested women.
I mean, what that meant.
But I guess when I try to write things down because I can't remember anything, I'm making a hit list somehow. This is coming from someone who auctioned me off in the park, so.
Did you know that I'm afraid of zip ties, but I love them? So I said I was afraid of them, but to be honest, I really like the noise. So anyways, they put them everywhere. Yes!
But victims of incest, or like, for example, someone who's called a 9-year-old homewrecker,
which many people in our town were victims of,
which is something that I've heard now for multiple years, you really are cornered all the time. And I have been cornered all of my life. Denver was probably the first place I went for a walk where Ralph Barr wasn't going to put me in a refrigerator.
And I don't think I'm
it was amazing. Also, that whole reflective light, I guess, I was missing out on. And the whole crest that Liam always bragged about. His family crest. Don't get crested.
So a lot of women at the shipyard have to fight at one time or another. And unfortunately, the man that likes to make fun of me did not go away. In fact, he threw a rock at me and told me to back where it came from.
I walked by a man talking about the Goal Society the other day. The thing with the goals is they do it over and over and over again until they get what they want. I wanted freedom, a job, and a life, and they want slavery and death. I think they finally figured out how to get it.
I also wanted to walk down the street during the day without a man telling me if I was wearing underwear or not using government technology, which then would escalate to him at the bar and me being absolutely terrified by what he was going to do to me next, since the video he'd love to watch was me on a hospital bed and him with a wig on. And since he followed me everywhere I went and harassed me everywhere I went, which happens to a lot of people, but should not happen, especially if you are one female in front of a gap. Yes. Nose. Mind the gap. Nose for Ben Burkett. Turbines. Can get them out of my head. Because I thought you'd make a house with one. The wind. Also, you hear every comment in the apartment building. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Overall, it's just basically me going to shop. Never try to break that glass again because it definitely saved our lives. You broke mine, but some windows are meant to never break. Even the waitress is terrified of him. He wanted me to be divested so he could use me for initiation since I was sticking up for myself. I started walking around at night because he just kept getting so intense during the day. But I just couldn't back down. And then I guess someone else had a shipyard lawsuit idea. I never was being offered $3 million, and I was thinking, I can't even let that be. Can't. So, Mary said she'd never be the same again. I thought I'd be dead within 2 weeks because they had already said I was supposed to be DOA. I don't know what to do about these things. I'm pretty sure if Steve Ferran got shot in the head, I would fall over somewhere. Much like some other people. I mean, maybe he did. He could be very dead right now. But I refuse to even respond to that. I think he's being a child if that is what he's doing. But if the 7, as I keep drawing these black cloaked figures, would like to cheer up, that'd be helpful. No, he could have. There's something they're doing that's making the back of people's heads explode. And the FBI power grid is so fucked up right now, who knows what it'll do.
Yeah, really agree. That blue car.
Yeah, she just having that. Oh, Amber's car? Or the one that Audrey sank? I was supposed to die when I was 25. You already ate it all. Yeah, Marina, but I could hear it. And it just reminded me of one thing in 7th grade. So I guess for me, it was really traumatizing. Because, remember? 7th grade. Reward. Huh. So it basically grossed me out a lot. Especially since I've been listening to the foot of every in Project Safe project for so long. I kind of deserve a little bit something else. Oh, and also you sent all of my childhood photos to a prison in Maine. Very, very descriptive. And yes, I was very popular then. They wanted to clone me. Apparently, the plague said he would take people off the sex offenders list if they abused me.
If I was a dead cow,
I know. If I was a foster care child that Ellery traded for, why am I with Keith and
all day long I
we talk to ourselves and each other. It's weird. But there's two sides to me, so. Oh, someone's yelling right now a lot. Says Marquis sold something for $75 million. No, $750 million? And Jeff and Megan have been torturing me the entire time. It's hard when you can't get rid of someone. Jeff said that I had a rape vibe. Apparently, I have very little tissue remaining in my neck due to the fact that he likes to grab the back bit and shoved that off for quite a long time. Gun of the month is not very funny. Neither is the interrogation techniques that are used by the police department, the Department of Defense, and the NSA. Not to mention people posing as them. I have been not only tricked by a fake police officer and a fake border patrol officer, but I have not yet seen an interrogation technique that doesn't involve rape. Now, if you like to ask questions in the way of getting women pregnant, I hope you have had your fucking balls cut off, because you probably have a lot of kids around. Not only that, but I don't think you need to pick out a girl to take to prison with you every weekend. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Harley Quinn. That chocolate tastes awful. And the Schindler's List, the prison system here. Let me tell you one thing. They're storing it at the prison. Number 2, Nasser. I knew him. And Very Near. I don't remember, but I knew him too. Now, if there's going to be a prison break, and Nasser's worst surgeons are going to be getting out, so I'm not going to be moving ever again because I used to be a gymnast, I think I'm going to have to definitely get some lawsuits going. Number 2, that on my way text message. I know it has something to do with Rainier, but I have no idea what. And if you guys are going to have a prison break because your security is that bad, fix what they do. Because when I have someone fold me in half while another man watches through the window, but suddenly all of those recordings are gone. And if you're going to be educating our youth through computers for how long? Quarantine? Then you better make sure the NSA is definitely not what it was during that time. Because you might have ripped out my cam But I could hear it. I'm so disappointed in the cybersecurity, the fucking child safety, everything. And we were worried in Denver that there was a terrorist organization infiltrating the police department because of things like that. Because small towns, no reporting. And Georgia was eavesdropping so well. So was Maine. And so was Tucson. I could hear not only more people in my head than I ever needed to, because I had a CIA listening device that has now been stolen and given to someone who should not have it. But what I heard and what you covered up, I will never look at a human being the same again for the rest of my life. And I don't know if any of you know this, but shame and humiliation are the number one shut the fuck up and do what we say things. And Annie's cab recorded a bunch of you really drunkenly talking about how excited you were to torture me. Now, this is a town of 6,000 people. 6,000 incredibly talented people. Genius. And someone went into that town and influenced that genius. I was very protective of brains because of the way they develop. Unfortunately, when Peter Garland's wife, started working in child development, I could not figure out how the tune changed across the way. Now, I may not be a smart person, and I may be silly and stupid, and people may just say I'm obnoxious. But when I see how talented someone is at something, you know that is the way their brain goes. So you know that there's also a weakness somewhere else that someone will easily take advantage of. After having things done to me out here that I did not ever want to re-experience, and knowing that people are okay with that, I don't know why I spent so much time wanting to protect people or wanting to make sure that when they went to bed at night, they went to bed in a safe place where they could close their eyes. Because I have not slept on a bed that isn't electrocuted since Denver. And allowing someone like Dane Overhill to put me through one of the most vicious torture systems in America. So, I couldn't remember Dane, but I've known him for most of my life. Imagine being able to erase that much out of someone. And then letting him do that. I know it's a lot about environment. For example, Oswego, very different. And in Denver, most of the time I had to pretend like we're something we weren't. Because for some reason, you're only happy if we're unhappy. And they'll never understand. Psycho blinds a frame. Come on, Rachel. Leawood's family, for some reason, decided they wanted my life ruined. So they reached out to Vicky. When people's children started getting kidnapped, guess who I checked on first? Alexis and Rachel. It's so weird because you have these people in your life, but they can erase themselves out of it. And then someone else learns how to do something like erase everything. And you're looking at someone like Vicky, who you have cared about since you met her. And she has now made a catalog of torture. I thought I heard the sound of a wiffle ball bat. Just stopped at a streetlight. Apparently Vicky put something so far up my ass And I don't even know what it is because she can erase it. And I hope it's a voice sample, but someone was very proud of being able to undo the surgery that had been done on my body so that I could not be what you would call kid wellied, which is when they spin your body so you can't feel the bottom half when you were abused. Now, Jean got really upset because I could feel my whole body. It all connected. I could have told you how many people were on the roof while I was sitting in the living room. And they definitely couldn't come without touching. Okay, maybe I could make you come without touching. But they don't like telekinesis for some reason. Anyway, our country suffered a lot. And until Reno, I was not seen, but Jay caught me. And it's been very traumatic. My family used to always joke that it skipped a generation. That I got a gene or something like that. And I wasn't seen for a long time. But in Reno, there were definitely some people on foot that were a little bit scary. I don't know how Jay found me. Maybe it was a thermal detector or something. But there's a lot of people in Tucson that don't belong here. And Gene Pastorisi making me a surveillance victim is really bullshit. Someone gave me a stroke 2 nights ago, so I'm really having trouble moving my hand. I'm guessing maybe Eric Sylvester. So I don't know if that's true that you guys have had a stroke gun. If it is, it makes me very, very happy because I had one when I was very little, so I can turn left again. Because there's an amazing place with amazing people in it, and I miss them. And even though I didn't get along with a lot of people at home because I was the societal reject or whatever, I could see how talented most of you were. It really sucks that you took a corner and wanted to rip whatever I had out of me. Because I was really excited about looking for hidden bugs in Airbnbs, especially as we found them in Elliott. It used to be a really good bug detector. And missile hunting. Unfortunately, I found one in Elliott. And out here, actually, in the cave, there's a little bit of a problem with energy. So I was in this cave, and I also picked up kids from this massage thing. But I was not at the massage thing. Unfortunately, though, I have to die because of it. Now, I got Dane a massage once because he hurt his back while he was, well, I don't want to know now what he was doing. But my mom made sure to send an Anderson, apparently. And I don't know why, actually, to be honest, that has ever been a thing that is a huge problem. I went to massage school with Megan, but Jane Willis, what did you say to my mother when I got her a massage because she hurt her back? I'm going to always wonder about that now. Especially since the house that I'm just partially living in that my parents own was, I think, owned by a Willis before. And before that, Sam and I boarded ourselves into that house during a terrorist attack and stayed in the underground fallout shelter. I know that there's definitely a fake fireplace. I can see it behind the Tucson sign. The bathroom is really hard to use, by the way, and there's a window that I didn't have a problem with before. What else can I get into? There's a fake wall in the tool room, and the Mexican man who turned the crank in the yard and told me he was going to show me what torture really was. So have you ever watched the show Unbreakable Kimmy D? There's also a crank involved and a crazy priest. Isn't that strange? Now, Megan, the Detroit gorilla loving Megan. I did not need to be shown what torture really was. I also didn't need you and Jeff attacking me to further your career. But you did, which sucks. She likes to scrunch her nose at me no matter what, and I never understood why, but I can do the scrunchy nosy thing really well. Anyway, she made me eat something really gross at the park the other day. You know, I've been trying to literally just sit in a parking lot and apply for jobs for about 7 years now. And the drone from the shipyard that won't leave me alone, thank you, Caleb, it was just one of many. It's really bullshit when you make it so I can't actually fight back. Because before I had arms and legs that, well, at least I could bounce a little bit. But instead, I get the white backwards Caesar drone in Oregon while I'm trying to sleep, which is huge. The Reaper didn't mind because it woke me up in the morning and said hello. The DNA drone really sucked, I think, because it hurt me really badly. I'm going to take a really big, nice picture. Oh, and the one in, I'll show you a picture of it. Why would a drone look like it has a sperm tail coming off of it? Oh! The dog's been outside too long. Where is it? Well, I'll draw you a picture. So, oh, here's some exam stuff they left on my computer. I guess you have to hold it this way. I don't know why. Anyway. So, there's this drone. And they were using Young Life gas. So no one was attaching. And there's a circle. And then there's just like these little tails. I can't draw right now because I had a stroke. That's the beginning of it. And there's that one. And I mean, I guess they have 6. They're sending back to where they came from, but I think they have it wrong. I don't know why Missy and Phil don't like my neck working, but thank you to the J1 who took me to the Ministry of Defense to fix my neck. That was very nice of you. Because it's really nice when my neck works. But then they broke it again. And to the redhead who electrocuted me the minute I laid down, I was extremely attracted to you one time in my life. But I think you're an asshole. Joey, that's a great microphone. Maine will love it. But fuck! I could hear that all this way from Crystal Mountain. Didn't know that. But there's also a Crystal Mountain in Maine. Did you know that? I've always wanted to live in Washington or Oregon. I might try again. It's been like a lifelong dream. I used to mark it on the map when I was a little kid. But I'm not sure if Jay can handle that. I wanted to work with migrant workers and do health stuff. But they won't let me do that because, unfortunately, my family followed me up there and tortured me. And I figured if they're going to torture me here, I was just going to go up there anyway because it was wasting time. And I wanted to check on the airport since I kept hearing one thing at a time in a condo basement. And I used to be really connected to that airport. And one of Tom's sons was pointing at Bank of America. Yes, that is correct. I think James was still in my bank account and someone from Glee caught him. I just wish that bocce ball court hadn't changed everyone's mood. But I'm really glad Lars posted that Congo line for Green Team. What is on that bulletin board? Kenny made everyone move so they would agree with what they were doing. And his tenant tried to shoot me. I guess I should be happy that Iggy stopped him, but I'm really mad a little bit. Iggy. She was in Denver too. For some reason, I thought I was safe, and I looked up the, door at 7-Star and saw her with black beret on and a tablet in her hand. But life changes. There were rats behind the TV, apparently. But in the words of Sarah, we got a government issue on her. She won't live long. Yes, I will. I'll live longer than you ever know. Anyway, everyone's getting brainwashed on the internet. And I was lucky enough to not have to be able to walk around, so I didn't really go on it. I'm letting a lot of information I don't want to share out. That's true. I wish they let me walk around here, but I literally am harassed constantly. His harassment account on Tor, whenever it started, his wife was right. It is fucked up. But so is Hughes. So hopefully he healed that wall up really well. And Rob Campbell, I was not drunk while you and your wife were eating Chinese food watching me at the beach. Although Tyler Norman had been harassing me the entire time I've been home on his little dirt bikey thing. Mostly just because I think they're going to map out. They mapped out our house with my mapping equipment. They could have gone way different direction. Anyway, never let your ex-boyfriend have, like, seriously. Burn marks in the floor. Anyway. Hillary couldn't comment on the Watergate tapes because she had to look at them, but I'm going to say that some people that I might know might be in them. Anyway, MEF is wrong. So is bacteria, like flesh-eating bacteria, to put in drugs. So before this, I literally was tracking flesh-eating bacteria in multiple different kinds of drugs. And I think it's come here. Well, it did. It was coming here. And in Oswego, that was also a problem. So they were triggering me in any way they possibly could. Which sucks because I'm sorry, I don't believe in cleansing. Especially drug users, or just because they're drug users. But that seems to be an okay thing lately. It's not. Also, this remote seeing if people are high thing and then attacking them, that's pretty fucked up too. So you can test to see if somebody's high from far away now. And I'm guessing they are robbing them. Now, Ben Hasey was definitely spinning the wheel. And I have been tortured a lot. Probably more than ever. And I don't know what I'm going to do because they surround the house every night. And someone injects in my skull and my pelvis. And when I got home, I just wanted one person. Well, that made it about suicide, unfortunately, but I needed to tell someone something. And I just come from Idaho. And I really wish I could just go back to that test site and sleep. And they keep following me, and that is very frustrating for me. Because I don't want to be on this side of the fence. And being drugged, they were giving me pharmaceuticals that actually don't exist anymore. Thank you, Keith Bates. I think Keith Bates and Mary Ellen had their own little revenge party for me. I would always open stalls when I was little. And Mary Ellen, the implantation and removal of information. Now, you don't need to threaten me with a 5x8 cent cell over dinner, but she said that. I was already crying. She gave me the Love Warrior book. And they all voted on the Bach Netherlands Society. Thanks a lot. Emily was a Wi-Fi monitor, apparently. I didn't even know she and Emily knew each other. Sarah and Emily knew each other. Mary Ellen had her just lay down next to me. But Hank didn't want to do that. I see I experimented on Mary Ellen's in Kittery. And I used to get so tired. But the centrifuge thing. So unfortunately, Emily gave that away and shared confidential information to hurt me. Along with my elephants. There's a reason when the whale animal was never redone, but when it was one of the most wonderful things that I ever got to watch. So if you are someone who does, if you are somebody who does, whatever the word is called, sorry, I stroked 2 nights ago. Large pieces of art are something that will change your day, and they're so fun to watch someone make. And I will never forget how happy I was just sitting there watching him paint that. Right now, a bunch of people from high school are around, and it's terrifying for me. I didn't want to do this. He didn't want to be passed over for something. I didn't even know they were in Denver. I didn't know my name when I woke up, actually, to be honest. I guess a fish head will do that. So, I mean, I never would have come back to Tucson. But my parents basically have been holding me hostage. I guess I have to be dating someone. And living alone with someone like Jeff around, or David or whatever. Wow. So they said once Jeff got out of jail in my basement for some reason, if it was him in Minnesota, he was the one who put the granite slab on my chest. The training center was awesome, but when he's one of the surgical people that I'm trained with, and he can remove my brain, basically. Really, really sucks. Because that's what he did. Also, I think he shot Joe. But the neighbor says that was them tricking me into letting them steal my life. In Winnipeg. Apparently he's Ella Peg. Now, Ella was not a prostitution name. It was a "you're recording me" name. So I'll make that clear. I'm hopefully getting some popcorn for the next show. I drew mallow on a plate once a long time ago at my grandmother's house. He has a basic bitch bone in, I think, at the time. And so they made everything else. They remade everything. Like the plates that made my grandmother's and my journal entry, everything. Prefabricated. And I would just like to say that I did not draw the plates that they're using. Because one thing that I always did was sign my work. He may have appeared in the form of his father, because that's who I trusted when I was younger. And the circle may have come on down at home. And the dimensions may be really off. And right now they're all surrounding the house. Energy torture is very, very, very awful. So when they torture you in that way, it basically crumples you. And David does suck the life out of you. And has been. He did to Mom too. In high school, every ankle cracked, every bone. Mom had a broomstick. But I couldn't even lift my arms. And him being able to psychologically evaluate me. I mean, literally, I give people the reason. I mean, not that I trusted him, but I didn't hate him. I did not like him. But you can pay my personality away in Santa Fe, apparently. And they did. Because you read my email I didn't know anyone else was reading. Well, they were flooding my memory, so obviously I have to get it out of my head. And then someone presses the electric dog collar. And where I lose more. 30 years of Child Protective Services. I cried for a year. I guess I'm Jason's next target. You were one of my shy children. And thanks for repaying the favor. And hey, the guy who works at the airport with the German pointer. What's that mean? Sorry. Let's see. So we got third lethal injection. Merry Christmas, Lynn. Big red filling. I can't write this. Henry chemical chemotherapy. All right. My godfather, no old grandfather, heard that one. One more symbol from Jeff. What's your wheel? Party Travis. Wall is over. That's not your phone. Shrub 911. No control over my body. Cancer. Wow, they just sit over there. I didn't even know the Confederate Army would be a problem. I mean, Jamie kidnapped me brought me to Canada once, but guess they're always right. Chicken shawarma, Marty. Varicose veins. Whenever you guys logged in, I could see him. Suddenly blind and don't want to watch video sex. But not my choice. There goes my sex life, though. And Eric Good is yelling from the boat base. An audio visual for porn now, Ellery. Person collecting you, get ready to die to get the king of the princess. Oh. I would want to wrap myself up in a tarp and just jump into the creek. Awesome. There's this giant bug they all hate that flew in the window in Croatia. Man, he was so disgusted by him. Happy Earth Day. What happened on Earth Day? This room stairs probably Grassy Hill. And oh, by the way, Jeff keeps teasing about Sterling Nature Center. I know what Bloodsport is. OP likes hiding near the waterfalls, though. And I did not know what molested marijuana was until Christopher Burke's friend yelled it at me every day, but it does make me upset that the girls say they'll never smoke weed after college. Hey, what's this? Oh, also, somebody gave my dad brain surgery and put shit from Canada into his head that will make him crazy. Take it out. And you erased the Heath Ledger computers that I took away when Heath Ledger died. Liam found this computer upstairs near the bread maker, and I opened it and I said, "This is a bad computer." Immediately knocked out. But she must be held accountable. That's so not fair. $1 million sapphire necklace. Gonna get that. She treated herself in Bermuda. Unfortunately, Liam's dad paid $8,000 to step on my neck. Nice watching me so okay too. Liam breaks women in, I didn't know. It really sucks when you find out way too late.